There is a strength within you that was never meant to fade. Even when the world turned silent and shadows lingered longer than they should, you carried a light not everyone could see. You were never alone in those moments. Celestial messengers have walked beside you, quietly guiding your steps, whispering hope when your own voice trembled. Type "Still the One" if your heart whispers their name even now. Love has always been part of your design, not a weakness, but a sacred force. And there comes a time when the words you carry inside must be spoken, not just to be heard, but to awaken something eternal in the one you love. When truth rises from the depths of your spirit, shaped not by fear, but by divine knowing, everything changes. Walls fall. Hearts recognize one another. Destinies align. Type "Chosen" if your heart knows this connection was never ordinary. This moment, this message, it isn't ordinary. It's the echo of something God has placed within you. And when you speak it, the veil lifts, and love becomes unstoppable. Not every truth is meant to be spoken at once. Some are sacred, waiting for the hour when the heart is ready, when the soul leans forward, prepared to receive what was always meant to be known. Type "Awakened Heart" if this truth stirred something deep within. There is a sentence you've carried quietly, like a flame cupped in your hands through the winds of doubt and time. Words born from your deepest knowing, woven not with ordinary threads, but with grace, vulnerability, and divine purpose. You've held them close, not out of fear, but because something within you understood they would not be just heard. They would be felt. And now, that moment draws near. You were guided here, not by chance, but through the gentle movements of celestial messengers. Each delay, each silence, each glance that lingered longer than expected, none of it was random. These were divine alignments, preparing a path only your soul could walk. Type "Peace in Love" if this message brought calm to your spirit. When you finally say it, not as a confession, not as a plea, but as a truth that echoes with the breath of God, it will reach deeper than ears. It will pass through barriers, dissolve doubt, and touch the eternal within them. The ordinary will falter in its presence. The walls built by time and silence will not stand against it. You are not delivering mere words. You are delivering something that has waited lifetimes. And when it is spoken, it will not just change how they see you, it will awaken how they see themselves. Type "Love remains" if no time or distance could touch what you share. They will remember. Not the moment they met you, but the reason they never truly forgot you. Their spirit will recall the feeling of being known without explanation, loved without condition, chosen beyond reason. Type "Unbreakable Thread" if nothing has ever truly separated you. There is mystery in this moment, yes, but it is the kind that leads to revelation. A divine unfolding, slow and certain, like light touching a forgotten corner of the soul. And once it begins, nothing remains the same. The ones who carry this kind of love are rare. You have been entrusted with it. And the time is drawing near when silence must give way to sacred expression. When you say this to the person you love, it will change everything, not because of how it sounds, but because of who you become when you finally speak it. Type "Anchor of Love" if this message brought you back to center. There are words that carry weight beyond language, words that do not merely pass through the air, but reach into the soul of another and awaken something sleeping. This is not a message shaped by the mind. It is carved by the heart, refined in silence, and ignited by truth. To speak from the deepest part of your being requires more than courage. It requires presence, a sacred stillness. a moment when the noise of the world falls away and only truth remains. And in that space, the words rise not rehearsed, not forced but honest, whole and holy. When you say this, it will not matter how long it took to find the moment. It will not matter how much was left unsaid before. What matters is that these words are born from everything you've walked through, every ache, every hope, every silent prayer that rose when no one was watching. They will feel it not on the surface, but in the places words don't usually reach. Because this kind of love does not speak to impress. It speaks to liberate. And the one who hears it will be changed, not by the beauty of the phrase, but by the truth behind it. It is in the tone of your voice, steady and calm, that they will hear the echo of divine timing. It is in your still gaze that they will recognize the ancient bond between you, written long before this life began. The love you carry is not fragile. It is not uncertain. It is the kind that remains when all else fades. This is why it will change everything, because it does not seek validation. It does not chase promises. It simply reveals. And in the revealing, something powerful happens. Barriers fall, the heart softens, and time bends in reverence to what is unfolding. The words may be simple, but their impact is eternal. When spoken with the full force of your truth, they become a key, not to convince, but to open. A portal through which both souls step forward, more known, more free, more whole. You were meant to carry this message. You were chosen to deliver it at the precise moment when everything within you says, now. And when that moment arrives, you will not need to speak loudly. You will only need to speak clearly from the place where love has never once been uncertain. Because when you say this to the person you love, it is not just a conversation. It is a divine unfolding. And nothing after it will be the same. It does not matter where their heart stands now. Whether guarded by time, veiled by doubt, or buried beneath years of silence, the truth you carry holds the power to reach it. These words, born not from longing, but from knowing, have a frequency only the soul can understand. They pass beyond confusion, beyond hesitation, and they awaken something dormant. Not because they are loud, but because they are true. Even if their mind resists, even if their thoughts deny what their spirit remembers, your voice will move through those barriers like light finding a crack in the stone. Quietly, completely. This love was not built in a day. It was woven through unseen moments, stitched together with glances, pauses, and shared silence. Your connection is not dependent on memory. It is rooted in recognition, something older than words, something God never allowed to be forgotten. And so, when you speak, when you finally let those words rise, it will not matter what they believed before, because your truth will remind them. It will reach past the stories they've told themselves, past the walls they've built to feel safe, and it will call out the part of them that has always known you. Some may look away, some may fall silent, but even then, something within them will respond. A warmth, a breath, a trembling awareness that what they just heard was not ordinary. That is the power of speaking from the heart, guided by something higher. Celestial messengers have prepared this moment long before you arrived at it. Through dreams, through symbols, through the quiet ache that brought you to this threshold, they've been with you, guiding, confirming, preparing the ground. So understand this, your words are not just yours. They carry the echo of heaven's design. And when you release them, you do not just speak into air, you speak into destiny. Whether the one you love understands it now or not, something eternal will move within them. The love they buried, denied, or misunderstood will begin to rise. Because truth spoken with purity cannot be forgotten. It lingers. It calls. It stays. And one day, they will look back on that moment not as an ending, but as the beginning of everything. A turning point. A return to what was always meant to be. When you say this to the person you love, it will change everything, not just for them, but for you. Because truth sets both hearts free. And when love is awakened by the divine, it never returns the same. Some moments are not simply lived, they are etched into the soul, carried through lifetimes, and echoed in the quiet between heartbeats. When you speak these words to the one you love, such a moment is born. It will not only awaken something within them, it will transform you. This kind of truth, spoken freely and without expectation, is not just a gift, it is a release. It clears the weight from your chest. It parts the fog from your path. It brings your spirit into alignment with what was always meant to be. Because in that moment, you are no longer holding love back. You are honoring it. And when love is honored, it expands. It reaches corners of the heart long untouched, bringing light to wounds you no longer knew were there. It softens what was hardened. It restores what was lost. What flows from your heart will not fall on empty ground. Even if their words do not match yours, even if their reaction is quiet or unsure, the impact will be felt. A change will take root, not loud or dramatic, but deep, lasting and sacred. This isn't about getting the response you hoped for. It's about becoming the version of yourself that no longer hides what is holy. Because love, when expressed through divine truth, never returns void. It moves mountains, even the ones built silently between two people. In time, they will reflect on what you said, not just once, but again and again, drawn back to it as if it holds a piece of their own soul. And perhaps they won't understand why it lingers, why it calls to them in the quiet, but they will know something within them changed that day. You will feel it too. A lightness, a peace, the knowledge that you lived truthfully, that you chose love over silence, faith over fear. That is something no outcome can take away from you. This moment is not just for connection, it is for evolution. A sacred crossing from who you were into who you are becoming. It marks a divine turning point where love is no longer hidden in the shadows, but brought into the light where it belongs. And from that point on, nothing remains untouched. The way you see the world, the way you carry yourself, the way they begin to question what they truly feel, all of it begins to change for the better. Because when truth is spoken with love, when the heart is poured out without pride or fear, it does more than reach another. It redeems. It renews. It elevates both souls closer to the place where God always intended them to meet. When you say this to the person you love, it will change everything, not as a single moment in time, but as a new beginning that blesses every moment to come. You were never meant to carry this love in silence forever. It was placed in your heart not as a burden, but as a blessing. Something sacred, meant to be shared when the moment felt like a quiet yes from the heavens. What you are about to speak is not ordinary. It carries the imprint of every lesson you've learned, every heartbreak you've survived, and every hope you've held quietly through the years. And when it is spoken, it releases more than emotion, it releases truth, and truth is the most powerful force the soul can offer. This truth will move through them like sunlight through glass, gentle yet undeniable. It will touch the places words don't usually reach. Even if they don't understand everything in that instant, Something within them will begin to open. Not because you ask them to, but because love has a way of awakening the truth already buried deep inside. And for you there will be no regret, because you will know, in the deepest part of yourself, that you gave something real. You honored what was placed in you by God, and you did so with grace, patience, and a heart wide open. That alone is a miracle. There will be peace afterward. Perhaps not all answers at once, perhaps not clarity in every direction, but peace in knowing you trusted the timing, and that you walked in truth. That peace will follow you. It will steady your steps. It will remind you that everything is unfolding exactly as it was meant to. The celestial messengers who have walked beside you are still here. They rejoice in the courage it takes to speak love without condition, to choose honesty over fear, to give without asking. That kind of love does not vanish, it grows. It plants seeds in both hearts that will bloom in ways neither of you can yet imagine. And no matter what happens next, you will be changed for the better. More open, more free, more aligned with your true path. Because when the heart is unburdened, when truth is given wings, the soul can finally rest. So walk forward without fear. Know that the words you carry are enough. Know that your love is seen. Know that what you are about to say has the power to unlock something beautiful not only in them, but in you. Everything will be all right. Not because it will all go as planned, but because love spoken from the soul never leads to ruin. It leads to healing. It leads to freedom. It leads to truth. It will change everything in the most divine way.